Jungkook had always been under immense pressure from his father to settle down as the heir to a powerful business empire. Expectations weighed heavily on him, but there was one problem. Jungkook wasn't ready for marriage. More than that, he had feelings for someone who had never once looked at him that way, his secretary, Yoo. Desperate to escape the constant pressure, he brought you along to a dinner at his family's mansion, pretending it was just another work-related event. While exploring the grand estate, you overheard a heated conversation between Jungkook and his father. His father's frustration was evident, his voice filled with authority as he insisted that Jungkook marry immediately. He spoke of responsibilities, image, and legacy, but Jungkook's voice, strained yet firm, showed his resistance. When you both returned to the car, you questioned him about it. If he was struggling so much, why didn't he just marry? But his answers surprised you. He didn't want to marry out of obligation, nor did he want to be trapped in a loveless marriage. That was when he hesitantly proposed an idea. A contract marriage just for a while until things settled down. You were taken aback. Marrying your boss, even if it was just a contract, it felt absurd. But the more you thought about it, the more you realized how trapped he was, and so despite your hesitation, you agreed. The marriage changed everything. His family was ecstatic, convinced that their son had finally embraced his duty, but something else shifted too. You started seeing Jungkook differently, noticing the way he looked at you, the way he always found an excuse to be around you. The lines between pretense and reality blurred, and before you knew it, your heart had betrayed you. Then came the moment that changed everything, a pregnancy test, positive. The fear that gripped your heart was suffocating. How would Jungkook react? Was this the end of your arrangement? But when you finally told him, his reaction was far from what you expected. He was happy. He didn't show it outright, but there was something in his eyes, a light, a quiet joy. And then he asked you without hesitation to marry him for real. By then, you didn't need time to think, you were already in love with him. The contract was forgotten, the marriage was real, and life, for the first time, felt complete. The morning sun streamed through the windows, filling your home with soft golden light. It was Sunday, a rare, peaceful day when none of you had to rush anywhere. Jungsoo, your 5-year-old bundle of endless energy, was running around the living room, controlling his little remote control car. With absolute delight, the sound of the tiny wheels skidding against the floor echoed through the house. Meanwhile, you and Jungkook were in the kitchen, preparing breakfast together. Jungkook stood beside you, flipping pancakes with effortless skill while you sliced some fresh fruits. Jungsoo, stop running like that, you called out, glancing at him from the kitchen. You're going to trip and hurt yourself. Jungsoo, of course, didn't listen. He giggled mischievously, deliberately steering his car faster across the floor. No, I won't, mommy. I'm a race car driver. You sighed and shook your head while Jungkook giggled and placed a batch of perfectly golden pancakes on a plate, adding an extra drizzle of syrup the way Jungsoo liked. You smiled at the sight. Your husband, who once couldn't even boil water without burning the pot, had become an expert at making breakfast over the years. The investor meeting is next week, Jungkook said, pouring another ladle of batter into the pan. I've gone through the reports twice, but I still feel like something is missing. If they don't see the long-term potential, it's going to be hard to get them on board. You picked up a few blueberries, dropping them into a small bowl as you nodded. You are overthinking it. The expansion plan is solid and the market trends are in your favor. What you need to focus on is the presentation. If you can highlight the competitive advantage and scalability, they won't hesitate. Jungkook glanced at you, his lips quirking up in amusement. You say that like it's the easiest thing in the world. You smirked, reaching for the honey bottle. That's because it is. You just need to play to your strengths, your ability to convince anyone that your idea is worth investing in. You have done it before and you'll do it again. Jungkook let out a small chuckle, flipping the pancake with practiced ease. That's the problem with having a smart wife. You see everything too clearly. You shrugged, setting the plates on the table. And that's why you tricked me and then married me for real. Best decision I ever made. I don't feel guilty at all, he said, laughing while you glared at him playfully. Jungsoo, however, wasn't paying attention to his game anymore. He was watching the two of you with a thoughtful expression. He noticed something that has changed between his parents over time, and while thinking all that, he tripped. A sharp gasp escaped your lips as Jungsoo tripped over his own feet and fell flat on the floor. His remote control car skidded away, hitting the couch. You gasped. Oh my god. Before you could even move, Jungkook had already dropped the spatula and rushed towards Jungsoo, lifting him off the ground with ease. Buddy, are you okay? His voice was laced with concern as he checked for any scratches. I told you not to run. You never listened to me, you said, coming in the living room. Jungsoo blinked, stunned for a second before his lips wobbled. Appa, I fell. His big round eyes glistened with unshed tears. Jungkook smiled softly, brushing his son's hair back. Yeah, I saw that. Didn't mom tell you to slow down? Come on, let's check your knees. He carried Jungsoo to the couch, making him sit comfortably while inspecting his tiny legs. See, no blood, just a little red. You'll be fine, big guy. Jungsoo sniffled dramatically, but it hurt. Jungkook chuckled, ruffling his son's hair. Want me to call an ambulance? You laughed, shaking your head as you brought a small ice pack from the kitchen. Here, put this on, Mr. Race Car Driver. Jungsoo took it with a dramatic sigh. Fine, but only because mommy said so. Jungkook leaned close to whisper, same reason I do most things. You rolled your eyes at your husband's cheeky comment. Honestly, you too. Jungkook, you spoiled him too much. Jungkook shrugged. He's my son. If I don't spoil him, who will? He winked at you before turning back to Jungsoo. Okay, champ. Since you survived, do you want pancakes with extra syrup? Jungsoo's face immediately lit up. Yes, with strawberries too. Jungkook smiled. Deal, but no more running, okay? Jungsoo nodded eagerly and then watched as his father stood up to return to the kitchen. You picked him up and brought him to the dining table before making him sit on his chair. Now eat your breakfast without rushing, okay? Jungsoo giggled and nodded. As Jungsoo started eating, he kept glancing at you and Jungkook. His little mind was working hard on something, but neither of you noticed at first. Jungkook sat down beside you at the table, sipping his coffee. You leaned against his shoulder, feeling warm and comfortable in the peaceful moment. Then Jungsoo suddenly asked, Appa, do you not love mommy the same anymore? You nearly choked on your coffee. Jungkook mid-sip froze and slowly lowered his cup. Excuse me, he said, blinking in confusion. Jungsoo put his fork down, tilting his head. You don't love mommy the same way you used to. You and Jungkook exchanged glances. Jungsoo, what are you talking about? You asked. Jungsoo shrugged. I mean, before you always held mommy's hand when we watched TV, you always kissed her cheek and lips when you left for work, and you used to annoy me all the time by saying she's mine first, but now you don't do these things and always talk work and all. Jungkook blinked, completely speechless. And you also used to hug her a lot and call her pretty, and Jungsoo counted on his fingers. You used to tease her too, but now you just drink coffee and talk about work. You stifled a laugh watching Jungkook struggle to respond. So, let me get this straight. You think I don't love mommy because I don't annoy you enough? Jungsoo nodded, looking serious. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Jungkook placed a hand over his chest, pretending to be hurt. Wow, my own son thinks I'm failing as a husband. You laughed while your cheeks turned pink. Jungsoo pursed his lips. I didn't say that, Appa. I just think you should love mommy like before. You bit your lip, trying not to laugh. Jungkook, our 5-year-old is giving you relationship advice. This is cold. I wonder what made him think that I don't love you. Jungsu pursed his lips, looking between the two of you. You used to be different. You used to be all lovey-dovey. Now you only talk about boring stuff like work. Your heart softened as you wiped his mouth. Oh, sweetheart, that's not true, baby. Jungsu looked at his dad. No, mom, you're so innocent. I think Appa is changing now. Before, Appa always teased you. He always told kisses and said she's mine before you, Jungsu. But now he just talks about investors. Don't you think that's suspicious? You looked at him amazed with wide eyes. Jungkook blinked. Wait, you think I don't love your mom anymore? Because I talk about work? Are you planting doubts in my wife's head, huh? I'm just telling you what I'm observing. You pressed your lips together, trying not to laugh. Meanwhile, Jungkook let out a dramatic sigh, speechless in front of his own son. Observing. Wow, you really remember all that, huh? Jungsu nodded. Of course, it was annoying, but I liked that. It made me feel like we were a family. Your heart melted. You reached to cup Jungsu's cheek. Oh, sweetheart, we are still a family. Nothing has changed. It's just you are growing up, so I think mom and dad have to stop being so cheesy, right? Jungkook let out a deep breath, suddenly leaning forward, resting his elbow on his knees. He turned to you with a smirk. Well, I guess I have no choice now. Before you could ask what he meant, he suddenly grabbed your wrist, pulling you onto his lap effortlessly. Your eyes widened and cheeks burned. Jungkook, what are you doing? He grinned, wrapping his arms around you tightly. I'm just proving a point to our son. Jungsu giggled, enjoying this way too much but pretended to be surprised. What are you doing, Appa? Jungkook smirked and looked at him. What do you mean? I'm doing exactly what I used to do. He turned to you and without hesitation pressed a firm kiss to your cheek and then to your lips and another. You gasped, your face burning as you pushed against his chest. Yeah, Jungkook, stop. Jungsu is watching. Jungkook only smirked while Jungsu was enjoying the scene in front of him, although he cringed a little. That's the whole point, baby. Our son thinks I don't love you enough. Jungsu covered his eyes when Jungkook again kissed your lips. Appa, okay, I get it now. You can stop it. Jungkook laughed loudly, pressing another kiss to your forehead. No can do, buddy. Your mom is mine before you, after you, and always. Not sharing. Jungsu groaned, burying his face in his hands. I regret asking. Stop being gross. I get it why you don't get touchy in front of me. I think I can't see it now without cringing. You were still struggling against Jungkook's grip, your face completely red. Jungkook, let me go. No, Jungkook said, tightening his arms around you. His lips brushed against your ear as he whispered, I kinda like proving my love for you, especially when it's my own son doubting it. I'll make sure he knows his Appa still loves his mom. Your breath hitched, you could feel your heart racing, and from the way Jungkook smirked, he knew exactly what he was doing. Jungsu peeked through his fingers and whined. Can you guys be normal now? Jungkook finally let you go, but not before pressing one last kiss to your temple. There. Now do you believe me, buddy? Jungsu huffed, crossing his arms. Yeah, you love mom. And you're still so cheesy. I was just testing you and I was right. You're never gonna stop being cheesy to mom. Your eyes widened while Jungkook laughed. You have no idea how much I have to plan just to make your mom mine. Do you really think I will let her go that easily? Your cheeks turned pink and heart melted, remembering the time his proposal for contract marriage, when in real you were the only one he wanted from the start. Yeah, I get it, but please, no more of that in front of me. My eyes are too young for that. Jungkook scoffed. You are the one who asked me to prove, and I hate losing. Yeah, but still, you are not that big of a winner, you know. Jungkook raised his brow as if he took it as a challenge. Not convinced? Guess I need to do more. You squawked as Jungkook turned you in his arms, pressing another kiss, this time to your forehead, then your temple, then your nose. Yeah, Jungkook, stop. Jungsu let out a loud groan, kicking his legs in frustration. I take it back, stop, okay, fine. You are the real winner, I get it. You were laughing now, trying to push Jungkook away, but he was relentless, holding you tight. Jungkook, stop embarrassing our son. Jungkook chuckled, finally letting go just enough to cup your face, looking into your eyes. See, Jungsu, your mom is still mine before you. Jungsu dramatically fell onto the stool, groaning. This is the worst day of my life. You shook your head, still smiling as you turned to Jungsu. Sweetheart, love doesn't always look the same every day. Just because we talk about work doesn't mean we love each other less. Jungkook nodded. Exactly. Love isn't just teasing and kissing. Though I still do plenty of that. He shot you a smirk before turning back to Jungsu. Love is also about taking care of each other, supporting each other, and yes, sometimes even talking about investors. Jungsu thought for a moment before sighing. Fine, but can you at least stop kissing in front of me? Jungkook laughed, pulling you even closer. No promises. Jungsu groaned, covering his face with his hands while you leaned your forehead against Jungkook's, shaking your head. Some things never changed, and honestly, that's exactly how you wanted it to be. Jungkook turned to you. See, now my love for you is officially certified by our son. You rolled your eyes, but your heart felt warm. You are ridiculous. Jungkook leaned in, his voice softer. But you love me for it. You smiled. Yeah, I do. Okay guys, this is too much romance for breakfast. Jungkook grinned, placing a final kiss on your cheek before letting go. Alright, but let this be a lesson, Jungsu. Jungsu raised a brow. What lesson? Jungkook smiled. Never doubt how much I love your mommy. Jungsu huffed, but you could see the tiny smile on his face. Okay, fine, I'll never doubt. Jungkook then looked at Jungsu. Great, but now I have to do something very important. Jungsu blinked. What? Before Jungsu could react, Jungkook suddenly scooped him up and started tickling him. I have to punish you for bullying your mother and me. Jungsu shrieked. No, Appa, stop. Mommy, help me. You leaned back, sipping your coffee. Sorry, buddy, you started this war. Now deal with it. Jungsu flailed, laughing uncontrollably as Jungkook continued his tickle attack. Okay, I won't bully you anymore. Jungkook finally stopped, setting him down. Jungsu was panting, cheeks flushed from laughter. He grumbled, I was just trying to help. Jungkook ruffled his hair. We know, buddy, and we love you for it. Jungsu pouted, looking up at you. Mommy, you really love Appa, right? You smiled, reaching out to cup Jungkook's face. More than anything. Jungkook's lips curled into a soft smile, and I love her more than anything too. Jungsu nodded, finally satisfied. Okay, but you still have to tease each other more. That's what makes love fun. Jungkook chuckled. I'll keep that in mind. And with that, the three of you continued your peaceful Sunday morning, filled with love, laughter, and the occasional teasing, just as Jungsu wanted.